Hey guys, how's it going? It's IBM 05 GTO on the LS1 GTO forums here. Anyways, today I'm going to address a situation that's been pretty well known within the GTO community. That's the ignition cylinder issue. I'm going to show you how to disassemble your dash and how to, well, basically what the final steps of it would look like once you modify it, and I'll show you what issues you need to address here. So let's get to it. Okay, so first you're going to pull off this upper dash cover right here, and all you're going to do is push forward and push up. Way too easy. Go ahead and throw that somewhere. What else you're going to do is pull off the rubber ring and put that somewhere as well. You're also at one point going to want to pull off this immobilizer deal. This shit is hard to take off and hard as fuck to put back on. So we might be fighting that a little bit later, but that's okay. We got nothing but time anyways. So go ahead and throw that somewhere on the side. Don't even bother disconnecting nothing. And then we're also gonna want to take this fucker off right here. This plug. There you go. And once all that's said and done, what you're going to be looking at here is the actual cylinder and the steering column itself. You see that hole right there on the left side? Right there. Basically what you're going to want to do is get like an Allen wrench. Something small. What I'm going to be using today, because I don't have anything on me right now, is a simple keychain deal. One of the key rings. So, what you're going to want to do, take your key, shove it in there, shove it on accessory. And then, leave that right there. Then from there, what you're going to want to do, I hope you can see this, and shove that in there, and you just push down. I don't know if you heard that sound, but basically that just kicked out the cylinder itself, and all you're going to do is slide it right on out. Okay, so here's some meat and potatoes of the deal. So, if you can see it, which I really hope you can, this is what it looks like. See, as you can see, I have grinded out the entire ramp, essentially leaving nothing in place. You see that? Okay. Okay, so basically what you're going to want to do, from this point, you're going to want to slide it all the way till it hits the on position. Now there is a stop, as you can see. Put the phone down right here. I'm sorry, it's pretty much the only way I could do this. So basically what you're going to want to do is slide it till it hits the stop right here, and basically shove this pin up. You're going to want to be careful at first because, as you can see, you see that? pushed it up with my nail. You might not be able to do that, but watch closely. You see, it comes right on out. So go ahead and grab your pin. Okay, there you go. Too easy. Go ahead and take that. Boom, there you go. There you go. Okay, we're going to be leaving the actual cylinder by itself. We're going to be leaving that piece by itself. Today, what we're going to be addressing is, you see that right there? There you go. Okay, the problem, there is something in there. It's a black tab. What you're going to want to do is, once you pull everything on out, clean it all up. The tab itself might appear gray at first, and it might be really hard to locate, but it will be colored black, and there will be a spring in there as well. You need to remove both of those. The problem with those is that the actual tab holds the key. It makes it drag, and essentially it scrapes the key. God knows why. It's also what's creating the odd electronics deal to where you got to open the door to shut it off, you know. Okay, so you pretty much get the idea. What you're going to do is pull it out and leave it out. Throw it away, whatever. You know, use it as something, I don't know. Okay, and from that point, there will be a spring. There will be a spring on this side. So, okay, there's where the tab is. Flip it over. There will be a spring that should come out with the pin. If not, you're going to have to fish it out of this hole. What you're going to want to do is, if you could see, where's the spring start? The spring starts right here. What you're going to want to do is, once you pull that spring out, not this one itself, the one down here. Basically, you're going to turn the spring itself, and you're going to count it to where it's one coil, and you're going to cut it using some tin snips or, you know, little pliers, whatever. Basically, what you're looking to do is reduce the actual pressure that is being put on the spring itself, on the pin, which will eliminate some of the rutting problem. Okay. So now here is where you're going to pick up the cylinder itself. And as you can see, it looks pretty clean. Looks about as clean as the day I did it, actually. I've had this set up for over 50,000 miles now. I'm at 75,000. I did it at about 24,000. So what you're going to want to do is, I'll show you. Basically what you're going to want to do is right about here, what you're going to want to do is grind all this off right here. Where there's a ramp, just grind it off. Just everything. Just take a Dremel. Hell, I used an aluminum cutting bit when I did mine. Just be careful what you do because it is soft metal and you don't want to damage it. So like I said, just this ramp right here, because the pin rides all along this area right here. And then it recedes right on back, right into there. Gets sucked on in. Okay, well, I mean, I already did mine, so I can't do it live. I'm sorry. I can tell you the setup works perfectly. This is the old style cylinder. So really, what you're going to want to do once you're done, okay, take your cylinder, shove it back into the tumbler assembly. This should only go in one way. Okay, what you're going to want to do is line up, basically shove it in, right? Maybe it might end up this way or something. So, what you're going to want to do is pull out and, play with it a little bit till you can get it to turn all the way to right there, where the hole is open, basically. Take your pin, you see that? What you're going to want to do as well, I forgot to mention this, you're going to want to have to round the entire pin itself. I tried to do mine as best as I could. It's held up perfect. That's part of the problem. So, take your pin, shove it into that hole right there, and then basically push up and turn your key as you're pushing up, and there you go. See that? Perfect. You can turn it, play with it, whatever. So as you can see, like I said, this has worked perfectly. No problems. Okay, so now that you get that all inserted back in, what you're going to want to do, I've been playing with this a little bit too much right now, so this might be a little weird. What you're going to want to do before you shove the cylinder back in, don't get antsy. Okay, there is a tab in the actual assembly in here for the steering column that you need to depress. It is right here. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. So just push down. You hear the lock. I hope you can see that, really. But it's not there anymore because I pushed it down. Okay. So once you got that down, take your assembly here, your cylinder, and you need to make sure it's too fucking sunny, damn it. There you go. That piece right there, that little ramp needs to be up on the top. Okay, so just start pushing it in. Boom. See that? Mine's in. Okay, so push it in a couple times, make sure it's fully in. There you go, you can pull it out now. Pull out your key. And basically, reverse the install. So, take your plug, plug it right on back in. Take your immobilizer deal here. This is, like I said, this is going to be the biggest pain in the ass to put back in out of everything. So, bear with me a second. I am doing this one-handed, so it's a little harder. And basically just push here on the black, along the black ring, because that's where you could apply the most equal pressure, and it should go right back in. Take your rubber piece and insert that right on back in as well. should be nice and uniform. It only goes in one way while still sitting flush. So if it's not sitting flush, it's in wrong. And then from this point, take your cover. If you could see right here, there is this little tab. So basically, the dash cover, the steering column cover, I'm sorry, is going to slide right on in there. And basically line it all up, make sure it's good, drop it in, boom, there you go. And just see how good it works. Take your key, easy to do, came out really easy, smooth as butter. See that? That is perfect. And then as far as the steering wheel column lock concern goes, you know, there isn't much concern about it when removing that black tab. The whole point of that black tab is to suck in the cylinder, so it could lock the entire assembly, supposedly. But anyways, take a look. Perfect. I mean, you know, it still works. Works great. Never had a problem with it not locking or unlocking magically. There you go. I mean, just took the key, inserted it. It works great. So, like I said, I mean, I think they had a good design from the beginning, and GM just, you know, fucked it up like usual. So anyways, if you have any questions, you know, another forum member who was around a while ago took some really good pictures. But, you know, if you have any questions of me, you know, just let me know. But, that shit's about as clean as the first day I did it, so I really am not worried about anything. I put about 50,000 miles on it. I've seen temperatures of about 27 degrees without a problem, and as high as 120, 130 plus cabin temperatures. And you know, it's been fine the whole time. And the wheel locks, you know, take a look at the electronics. There's accessory. I mean, pull out the key, and there we go. No more that door BS, and you know, it's pretty good. So, anyways, like I said, any questions of me, whatever, anything, you need any help. This is for the guys with the old style cylinder, or hell, you could do this with the new one if you want. Anyways, see you on the forums.